Hello, my name is Lucy, and my restoration project is on the vision of the 3 degrees of glory that Joseph Smith and Sidney Rigdon received in 1832, and the corresponding was Unit 8, the Kirtland Revelations. So, for my first scholarly article, I chose an article called Joseph Smith, Emanuel Swedenborg, in Section 76, The Importance of the Bible in Latter-day Revelation by J.B. Hawes. I got this from the Religious Studies Center. And it says, how does one account then for the similarities found in Joseph Smith's and Emanuel Swedenborg's respective descriptions of the afterlife? Believing Latter-day Saints might answer that question with an explanation that parallels Joseph Smith's reported statement to Edward Hunter. It is possible that Swedenborg saw the heavens. I found this quote interesting because I before didn't know that there was another religious leader who also received a vision of the afterlife. And it was really interesting because he actually, in his account of the vision, it was very similar to how Joseph Smith worded it. And so people actually thought that Joseph derived his account from Swedenborg, but it later proved in the article that Joseph Smith mainly focused and relied on the Bible for his account. The next scholarly article I chose was entitled Six Visions of Eternity by Monty S. Nyman. And the quote is, Joseph and Sidney wrote very little of what they actually saw and heard. Over 11 years later, the prophet said, I could explain 100-fold more than I ever have of the glories of the kingdoms, manifested to me in the vision, where I permitted and were the people prepared to receive them. I also found this interesting just because there's so much we don't know about the afterlife, but except for obviously the 3 degrees of glory, sons of perdition and outer darkness and information we've received from Joseph Smith's account of the vision. For my general conference talks, I chose Apostasy and Restoration by Dallin H. Oakes, and he gave it in April of 1995. And it says, our restored knowledge of the separateness of the three members of the Godhead provides a key to help us understand the diversities of resurrected glory. In their final judgment, the children of God will be assigned to a kingdom of glory for which their obedience has qualified them. The second general conference talk I chose was entitled Entrance into the Kingdom of God by Bernard P. Brockbank, and it was given October of 1972. He said, it is important to know that all of the requirements for entrance into the kingdom of God were personally given by Jesus Christ and are recorded in his holy scriptures. There will be many good people turned away from the entrance into the kingdom of heaven because they fail to know and follow the Lord's plan of life. And for the Joseph Smith Papers quote, I looked in the Morning and Evening Star, I believe that's what it's called, and it was an article that Joseph Smith wrote, basically summarizing his section in the Doctrine and Covenants, section 76, which covers the vision. And it says, these shall go away into everlasting punishment, which is endless punishment, which is eternal punishment, to reign with the devil and his angels throughout eternity, where their worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched, which is their torment. This quote is basically summarizing the fate of sons of perdition and how their lives are in the afterlife. And I just found this important because there is very little information about the sons of perdition and outer darkness, and this gives us a little glimpse into what that would have been like. Now, for the two relevant Doctrine and Covenants passages, I chose for the first one, D&C 76, 91 through 92. And it says, and thus we saw the glory of the terrestrial, which excels in all things, the glory of the celestial, even in glory and in power, and in might and in dominion. And thus we saw the glory of the celestial, which excels in all things, where God, even the Father, reigns upon his throne forever and ever. For the second passage, I chose D&C 88, 20 through 21. And this one says that bodies who are of the celestial kingdom may possess it forever and ever, for this intent was it made and created, and for this intent are they sanctified. And they who are not sanctified, through the law which I have given unto you, even the law of Christ, must inherit another kingdom, even that of a terrestrial kingdom, or that of a celestial kingdom. So the two summary concepts that I found to be most important from my studies of the 3 degrees of glory were, 1, assignment to each kingdom depends on our obedience, valiance, and behaviors in our mortality. The 3 kingdoms are celestial, terrestrial, and telestial. And second, Joseph Smith and Sidney Rigdon received not one but 6 different visions pertaining to the afterlife. The 6 visions they received were, in order: 1, the glory of the Son on the right hand of the Father; 2, the fall of Lucifer from the presence of God; 3, the sons of perdition; 4, the celestial kingdom; 5, the terrestrial kingdom; and 6, the telestial kingdom. So in conclusion, my personal application is in the article 6 Visions of Eternity. Monty Nyman wrote in good detail about how there is a particularly important distinction between acting valiantly in the church and simply following the commandments. Being valiant in the gospel includes acting with courage, bravery, and boldness. We can be valiant in sharing the gospel, defending the Lord and his church, or by standing up for others. At this point especially stood out to me because I realized that I fall short of acting valiantly like I should be. I tend to keep to myself a lot. However, when I read this, I felt inspired to put myself out there more. And whether it be through serving others, talking to and befriending those who seem lonely, or engaging in good social activities where I could potentially share the gospel to others. Okay, that is all I have for my presentation on my project. Thank you for watching.